You. Oh, sorry, guys. I left my Spectrum Pole shirt in the background. All of its glory. Oh, here's my cat, by the way. He's right there. Say hi, kitty. No? Okay. What's going on, everybody? We got the top 5 worst hit songs of 2024 by Mr. 96. Now, this year, he's not doing a top 10. That could be a good thing, you know. That's saying that, you know, we had a really good year, and there's not 5 other songs that deserve to be on a worst list. So, hey, this might be a positive thing. Or maybe he's getting tired of making a worst list, which, I mean, I don't blame him. They suck. So, not as videos, but as, like, processes of making videos, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah, I got Hot Pockets. Not Hot Pockets, pizza rolls.
Welcome to Mr. 96's Pop Reviews. My name is Mr. 96. If you're new here, I tend to review 2000s pop music as well as modern pop from time to time, and each December, I make top 10 worst and top 10 best hit songs of the year lists. But this year, I'm shortening the list to top 5 for a few reasons. For one, this year has been incredibly busy in terms of my day job. For my film class, I just finished directing a short film, which you can find on my personal channel that I'll link in the description, so I...
Guys, go watch that right now.
2 30-minute top 10 lists. Second, I haven't kept up with modern pop as often as I used to, so I don't want to bore you with 5 extra songs I probably wouldn't care about. That's not to say music has gotten worse. In many ways, music this year has actually been pretty good. It's just that chart watching is no longer a hobby of mine, as I'm much more comfortable talking about music history. Here are the guidelines. To be
that's fine.
For my list, the song must have charted in the top 60 of the Billboard Hot 100 sometime from January to November of 2024, and its release date cannot be later than August of 2024. Also, if the song was released before September of 2023, it cannot be on the 2023 Year in Hot 100. But most importantly, this list is completely subjective. All these choices are my personal opinion, meaning you have every right to disagree with me, so I will respect your opinion as long as you respect mine. Look, I know this top 5 instead of top 10 will kill this video in the algorithm, but I'm just doing what's best for my sanity. So let's take a look at the top 5 worst hit songs of 2024.
Let's go! Oh, I thought this was the fucking song. I was like, oh shit. Cause I like this song. This is a good song.
In the 9 years I've been on YouTube, I have many regrets. Just 2 years ago, I made the grave mistake.
That's more than half my life.
About this guy.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby.
Damn, people really don't like this song. Like, a lot of the worst lists I've seen so far have not been very nice to this song. Which, it's not like I'm a prime defender for this song. Like, I genuinely could care less about this song. But I don't see, like, it's not offensively bad. At least to me. I don't know.
In many ways, Jack Harlow becoming an easy target should have been obvious to me even back then, but part of me just wanted to see a white rapper who could succeed on his own terms without imitating Slim Shady. Now, on the surface, I normally wouldn't put a song like this in my top 5 because it doesn't sound all that bad musically. The beat's okay, and the sample is pretty solid, as it's from an obscure 90s song that doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, so ideally, this should be a passable filler song, but there are a few problems with that. First, the sampled lines are repeated so often that Jack feels like a guest feature on his own song. But the more glaring issue
I can see
is
that
Jack Harlow still thinks Jack Harlow is the coolest person in the world, so the music only highlights how uncool he actually is. The biggest flaw with Jack Harlow in recent years is that his music just stopped being fun. And once the beat started getting worse, his chill confidence made him sound less like a grown man and more like a teenager who thinks playing Call of Duty makes him a grown man. It's unfortunate because his verse in Industry Baby is still fucking amazing, but even when he's put on a decent beat nowadays, his lines have gotten considerably worse.
Young J-A-C-K-A-K-A Rico like Suave, Young Enrique.
Okay, first off, you're not Enrique Iglesias. You're not as heartfelt, and you're definitely not as charismatic. Also, Rico Suave is
Scott thought he had some Riz.
reference you think
Yeah, he probably does, let's be honest.
Rico Suave is an early 90s song that was goofy even at the time. Even for the meme crowd, why would you unironically use this Gen X one-hit wonder as a symbol of your sex appeal? Even if we
To be honest, I didn't know what that was either until
music curve,
Mr. 96.
Kane was much more convincing, may he rest in peace. At the very
shit.
least, you knew for a fact
Damn.
that him getting laid was a guarantee.
She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skilla, baby.
Look, I know the song he sampled was from a Detroit artist, but I can't believe Kentucky Mild Chicken here has the gall.
Kentucky Mild Chicken.
Just a few weeks after this song was released, he performed the halftime show for the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving game and completely bombed on national TV. At least the Lions are still good, unlike my team.
Damn, wait, this shit, like, looking at this compared to the fucking Beyonce performance is actually pretty jarring. Cause, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, okay, guys, let's fucking put a white mat at the bottom and let's have him come out of the fucking igloo. Like, they had, like, no ideas. Like, this compared to the fucking Beyonce performance is actually, like, pretty, is like a crazy difference.
Still good, unlike my team. I've reached the point now where I'm just done with the guy. I thought he had an opportunity to develop his own niche as a chill party rapper, but by trying to
I still think he has potential, but
ended up becoming a phony knockoff of himself.
Like, Jackman showed potential. That album.
You know what? It's been about half a decade, so I think I can properly judge how I feel about this artist.
Nicki Minaj?
I don't like Morgan Wallen.
Oh.
Whiskey, whiskey, won't you go away?
Okay. I mean, this song kind of sucks. Hey, as a defender of Stand By Me, even this is shit. I'm sorry.
Whether it's pre-N-word
This shit is not good.
N-word, I just can't relate to
Pre-N-word and post-N-word is
and no,
crazy.
I don't care that Moneybagg Yo is listed as the main artist of this song. Morgan Wallen sings the chorus and the second verse, so it's basically a Morgan Wallen song with Moneybagg Yo getting a guest verse.
Put you up and hide you on the shelf, I swear I'm through with you.
I don't know why Moneybagg Yo let Morgan Wallen sing a majority of the song, but my best guess is that it's all for marketing. Hip-hop dominated the late 2010s and first few years of the 2020s, but since 2023, country has become the clear dominant force of popular music.
True.
As a result, I can only see this as Moneybagg Yo trying to cash in on the country boom by doing the least work and getting an A on the project. It's just unfortunate that it led to this nothing burger of a song. Morgan Wallen sings about two things: alcohol and heartbreak. If you want songs that go outside of his miserable comfort zone, Whiskey Whiskey is not one of them. Really, what that says to me is that Morgan Wallen has become Drake with the twang. Like Drake,
Yeah, this
albums
has
are
been
guaranteed to put up amazing
known.
numbers, and the length of the albums is too goddamn long.
Yep.
Morgan Wallen hopping on a rap song is nothing new, since he hopped on Broadway Girls by Lil Durk as a sign of faith that he was past the N-word incident. But this new song feels like the converse, where Moneybagg Yo wanted the Morgan Wallen cred. And to me, that's arguably more humiliating because it tells me that mainstream rappers have no pride in their work.
And I'm tired of it, tired of it. We're too young to drown. Deep and dirty waters full of...
Last year, I reviewed
Focus
a song by David Guetta, who nowadays makes
Oh.
derivative music that lacks
What?
any spark of
I Don't Wanna Wait?
creativity. With David Guetta being a popular producer,
Let's
of
make
the
tonight the
2010s, it's only right
weekend.
that
I don't
I
wanna-
critique a popular producer of
Marshmello?
the late 2010s.
Miles on it. This is like what this is what Marshmello thinks like we're doing to his music.
I
Like,
don't even know what his style is.
Like, what? Like, this guy
I
thought I was
can't
gonna
tell you
do
what
that.
makes a
No, like,
Marshmello
what?
Song, what it is.
Song has
All
no
I know
soul.
is that I don't like it. Name me any other producer from the 2010s. Calvin Harris, Avicii, Zedd. I can recognize what each of their music sounds like. With Marshmello, I think of him more as a pop producer
In
than
your
an EDM producer,
eyes.
but even for pop, I don't find his music all that catchy. His songs have EDM drops and such, but they feel weightless and unearned, which is why most of his stuff rarely sticks with me. In addition, Marshmello tends to bring out the worst in his artists, especially Kane Brown, as they made a hit song back in 2019 that was also incredibly bad. It's strange for me to say since I'm not necessarily a huge Kane Brown fan to begin with, but Kane's entire image is being a nice guy you can bring home to mom, and Miles on it makes him sound like a horny sex addict.
Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We could break it in if you know what I mean.
You see, by break it in, he's talking about how he wants to break his penis into her vagina because he considers it a tight fit. I should stop now. I'm not sure what you
Hey, I was learning, man. Come on, bro.
And it's barely EDM, it's not heartfelt, and it doesn't make me want to dance. In other words, this song fills no notable purpose and comes off like a waste of space.
We could break it in if you know.
That's what a lot of like mainstream EDM songs are nowadays. Like, just walking in a mall, you'll hear that shit, you know?
I still remember back in 2018 when some hip-hop fanboys left some hate comments on my worst list because I included a Drake song. It may have taken 6 years for the world to catch up, but I'll accept your apologies.
I was really trying to keep it PG.
Really?
Really trying to keep it PG.
I'll be frank with you. If
Yeah,
had
I actually
to pick
kinda
a song
disagree
from
with
the
this.
Kendrick beef I'd put on this list, I would pick The Heart Part 6, as that song is just gross and morally reprehensible. But to my surprise, that song didn't chart at all, which I think is the most
wasn't put
telling
on
sign that Kendrick has
streaming,
thoroughly
so-
won, as
Well, no,
if
it-
Drake could astroturf it into the Hot 100. But this is a video
Well, I mean,
about hit songs, so
Not to be like a fucking glazer, but like he didn't put it on streaming services, so I mean that just wasn't like, you really like, could it really like hit from just YouTube alone? I don't think so. But really, this song, I think this was a solid diss. Like even Kendrick fans can agree. Like this Family Matters was solid. Like the only reason that this shit was really overshadowed because like Kendrick Lamar just went crazy with Meet the Graham, so it just kind of got fucked. You know what I'm saying? But I like this song. I don't think it's bad.
if I had to choose one to represent all the Drake diss tracks, it would be Family Matters, which is not the kill shot that he hoped it would be.
When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense cause she bigger than you?
Drake makes accusations of Kendrick beating his fiancée, which comes out of nowhere as he doesn't say anything to back it up. Now, I know what the Drake stans would say. Well,
Kendrick Lamar
called
didn't.
Drake a pedophile
Oh.
without evidence, so it's fair game. The difference is that Drake has notoriously had suspicious behavior around young women for years, so Kendrick had public evidence to pick from. Even worse is that Drake's eventual response
Evidence? I mean, okay, well, let's back up. I wouldn't say it's evidence. I would say it's potential evidence. Look. Potential evidence. If you want to talk about evidence, we would talk about the clip of him fucking kissing a girl on a 17-year-old girl on stage at a show, and him talking about how her breasts are nice or something like that. That would be like somewhat proof, even though I think technically 17 is the fucking age of consent, and it was in Colorado. I think that situation was in Colorado, and like the age of 17. But still, it's still fucking weird, right? Now that you could possibly say that as evidence, but like I wouldn't say like the Millie Bobby Brown stuff, the fucking Billie Eilish stuff. I wouldn't say that's evidence. I would say it's weird potential evidence. I want to say it's actual evidence, because like if it was actual evidence, then he would be fucking locked up most likely. Well, actually, maybe not even most likely. I don't know. We don't fucking know nowadays. Some celebrities can get away with a bunch of crazy shit, but yeah, it was just
the Hard Part 6 ended up being worse than we could have imagined.
If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd
yeah. See, this is what I was thinking about when saying that.
Again, I wish I could go
Because I mean, he's saying here that like he's too famous to get arrested, which means it's not true. But also, he might have more privilege, more leeway, more space to escape. I don't even know how to like fucking explain it, but like, I don't know.
all of the Heart Part 6 to tear it apart, but the main thing I want to point out is that Drake says he can't be a pedophile because he's too famous to get away with it. Okay, first, what the fuck world does he live in to say famous people can't get away with crimes? Did he not pay attention to 30 years of Diddy? Being famous...
I also see that 100%. I see that 100%. Like, that claim of, like, oh, yeah, like, famous people can 100% get arrested, and then you, like, people name the fucking people who get arrested. But there are also multiple famous people who have done probably, like, crazy shit who have not been arrested, right? Like, fucking, like, the opium. People on opium, bro, are having fucking domestic abuse allegations and shit, and like, Cardi neglecting his child. Like, I'm just saying, like, they haven't, I mean, they've been arrested, but they didn't really get, I think Cardi was arrested, but I don't think he really, like, was in there. Like, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure he wasn't, like, fucking a year in prison. But, hey, I'm just saying, like, not to defend Drake, but, like, unfortunately, a lot of famous people have gotten away with, like, weird shit, and the line doesn't make sense, but it also kind of makes sense in a general way. I don't know how to explain it. You know? Like, both sides are kind of true. Like, even if, like, I feel like a lot of, like I said, a lot of famous people have definitely 100% gotten away with weird fucking shit and have not been punished for it. And that line would make sense in that context, but especially with the Diddy stuff going on, it just looks terrible, right? I mean, it is terrible. Let's be honest, it is fucking terrible. I don't know why I'm acting like it's not terrible, but yeah, like, you can kind of, like, think, like, he's saying, like, even if you try to get me, like, I could still, like, you still can't catch me because of how famous and rich I am. You know what I'm saying? It's just the whole thing.
Get away with shit because having power and influence is enough to shut people up, especially
this is what I was saying.
Young women. In addition, I'm too famous is not only terrible from a logical standpoint, but from a moral one as well. As a defense, it fails to make you look sympathetic since it just comes off as bragging. I don't know if Canada has an equivalent to the Fifth Amendment, but even if you think Drake is innocent, his response might as well be self-incrimination. Drake was trying to ruin Kendrick's The Heart series by calling his song Part 6, but recently Kendrick ended up releasing the real Heart Part 6, whose existence will forever highlight just how bad and embarrassing Drake's version was.
True.
I've heard people say that the feud was still good for Drake in the sense that it got him to put effort into his music again, but honestly that makes me even more disappointed because his good stuff is still filled with shit like this.
Weekend music getting played in all the spots where boys got a little more pride. That's why all your friends dip into Atlanta paying just to find a tour guide.
Now this is just straight up homophobic. Drake clowns The Weeknd because his music is supposedly more popular in gay crowds, but is that supposed to be a diss? The Weeknd helped write your classic albums, Drake, yet now you're saying he sucks because gays like his music while you're better because gays don't like it? Family Matters is just a terrible song in general, but this entire spot on the list is a referendum on Drake as a whole this year. People let him get away with bullshit for too long that it took Kendrick calling out the obvious for people to realize. As I'm recording this, it's come out that Drake is threatening legal action against UMG and Spotify
that shit is actually bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like Us, which just shows how thoroughly Kendrick dominated Drake in this war. I'm sure Drake will probably recover despite the allegations because, again, he's famous enough to get away with it. But if he wants people to listen to his next album, don't make horrible samples of Hey There Delilah.
One Delilah, because they're bare traffic. I got Grammys. That's fire.
Even the plain white tees hate it.
They hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen. The picture you painted ain't what it seemed.
You did. Bro, the third part of Family Matters is actually fire. I'm not gonna lie. That shit is actually fire.
For my number one, I chose the song that I felt gave me nothing to latch onto.
Beautiful Things by Benson Boone.
But also gave me
Carnival by Kanye West.
As much as I'd love to put Drake at number 1, at least he sounded more engaged than he had been
Facts
the last
by
6 years.
Ben Shapiro and Tom
I
McDonald.
can't say the same about this.
Bigfoot
Think
by
you the
Nicki
shit,
Minaj.
bitch?
Okay.
You not even the fuck.
How am I so wrong?
I be going hard.
Sometimes I'm a very simple person. I'm not into toilet humor, so any jokes about literal shit or farts immediately turn me off. So just from the
Same.
title alone, I knew I wasn't going to like this, but wordplay aside, the music and performance are just colorless and stale.
And I'm keeping one tuck. I make me some jams.
I guess to some people this beat sounds like a banger, but to me it sounds very flat and repetitive with no clear musical direction. It's like it wants to be an kind of song, but with half the instrumentation and 8% of the energy. About a year ago, I was wondering if I was maybe misunderstanding Ice Spice's appeal and that her monotonous tone was an intentional artistic choice, but the more I listen to her music, the more I think she's just naturally that boring. At least 21 Savage uses his monotonous voice to represent how jaded he's become by the harsh realities of the streets. Ice Spice is trying to make bops and appear on pop songs, so her rapping in lowercase doesn't fit at all and dampens the vibe. Even without the lyrics,
I can
this
see
song
that.
was already tired and uninspired, but adding the poop joke just makes the unpleasant feeling linger like a clogged toilet. I don't like when Lil Wayne makes poop jokes as well, but even in his shitty attempts, pun intended,
Okay.
his songs sound aesthetically gross, which isn't much better, but at least you can argue it's immersive. I can't even say thank you the shit fart grosses me out. It just leaves me puzzled, asking weird questions.
God, think you the shit, bitch? You not even the fuck.
You ain't even the fart? I get it. I guess that means farts are a lower tier than shit. But
True.
what about sharks?
Oh.
Does say she's the shark? Ice Spice seems to have thought about this topic a lot. Did she
No.
write this from experience? If this song had any intention of grossing me out, it wasn't the loud kind of fart, but the silent kind that sneaks by you yet leaves a violent stench after the fact. And that's why, despite the lack of grandiosity, Thank You the Shit Fart is my #1 worst
Interesting.
hit song
Okay.
of 2024.
I just kind of forget this song exists.
Thank you for watching. For those of you who are new to
you're
my
welcome.
channel, I make videos about 2000s.
Guys, go
music
subscribe to
as well as
Mr.
modern
96.
music from time to time.
Go,
However, if you want to suggest 2000 songs for me to review, you can join my wonderful Patreon on Patreon. For just $1 per video, you can
Wait,
join my
2000
Patreon
songs?
Discord server.
John Mayer, oh my god.
Chill, and at $2
Has
per
anyone
video, you
requested
get to
John
vote on what
Mayer?
songs I review for my series 2000s Childhood Pop. At $5 per video, you get to be listed in my Names of Fame, and at $10
How
per
much
video,
to request
you get a personal shout
a
to the
song?
art, along with Casey Vellante, Jason Semler, and Prideful Zella. For my patrons watching this around release, you can click the link below to help vote on what song I'll review for the next Patreon
John Mayer.
2000s Childhood Pop episode.
John Mayer.
Once again, I'm Mr. 96. If you want to see more pop reviews, click the subscribe button
Guys,
below
go subscribe,
and
go
tap that
subscribe.
bell to be notified when I drop a new episode. By the way, I've deleted my Twitter account and have now made the jump to Blue Sky. I don't know how well
Good.
this will age, but Twitter
Good,
is just
buddy.
an irredeemable disaster now. Next will be
Good
the
for
top
you.
5 best hit songs of 2024, and the 2025
Top
season
3.
will kick off with the top 5 most average hit songs of 2024. Pop songs may come in numbers, but there's only one. 96.
너의 그 말 그 잔인한
Well, I gotta check his channel for like a John Mayer review, possibly.
칼날 같은 말 너의
Okay. Hey man, good video.
잔인한 말
What do you guys think of this list? Personally, I did not expect Ice Spice to be #1. I guess I literally named every other song that wasn't the fucking #1 song. So hey, what else was on here? Let's see. Oh yeah, Whiskey. Yeah, that song's pretty fucking good. Okay, like Family Matters. I kind of disagree, but I can see why. Miles on it. Yeah, that shit's ass. And Lovin on it. Yeah. This is a pretty good list. Guys, go subscribe to Mr. 96. And, yeah, thanks for watching.